Hello everyone, I am Deepak Paliwal doing my PhD under the scheme of Prime Minister Research Fellowship at Department of Material Science and Engineering IIT Kanpur. In this video series, we will learn about the deformation mechanisms of the FCC materials. So before going to the actual deformation mechanisms of the FCC material, first we will try to understand the basics related to the FCC, BCC and simple cubic, like what is the volume fraction of the unit cell, how the atom arrangement inside the FCC, BCC, simple cubic, what are the closed pack plane, what are the closed pack directions, and what are the sleeve systems in case of BCC or in case of FCC, so that we can have a good idea about all these things. So after that we can jump into the deformation mechanisms of the FCC materials. So without wasting time, let us start with the basics of the different crystal systems. Very first we will deal with the cubic material or the cubic system. So we have 7 crystal systems and 14 Bravais lattice. Among them we have cubic crystal system. In the cubic crystal system we have simple cubic. Let me have pen here. Okay, so we have simple cubic, we have body centered, we have face centered cubic, but we do not have end centered cubic in case of cubic crystal system. So why we do not have end centered cubic in the case of in the case of cubic crystal system? We will try to understand why we do not have end-centered cubic system. Let us first try to understand the atomic arrangement of the simple cubic, body-centered cubic, face-centered cubic. So this is the solid model in which atom is assumed as a solid sphere. So here, if I draw the unit cell, cubic unit cell, let us consider we have a cubic unit cell. So in case of the simple cubic, if I want to show with the ball and stick model, so we here our atom is present only at the positions of the corner of the cubic unit cell. In case of our body centered cubic structure, we have atoms atoms at the corner of the unit cell, as well as we have atom. Let me draw with the different color. So we have atom at the body center of this unit cell. Actually this all are connected, what it is shown into the solid ball model, or in the solid sphere model, hard sphere model, that all the atoms of the corner is connected with the body centered atom. But in the ball and stick model we are showing individually these are not connected, but in the reality these are connected. In case of the FCC crystal structure, we have a cubic unit cell. Again we have atom at the corner. Along with that we have atoms at the face centered position. We have six faces at 6 faces in the cubic system. So we have 6 face centered atom. So now the question is, why we do not have this end centered cubic or the base centered cubic in case of the cubic system? So let us try. So now we will discuss about why we do not have end-centered unit cell in cubic system. First we draw a cubic unit cell with the end-centered configuration. Okay, we have atoms at the corner. Okay, let me draw atoms at the end centered position with a different color. Okay, now we have this end centered cubic unit cell. So why this is not possible? Let me draw two cubic unit cell with the end centered configuration. That will explain why we do not have the end-centered cubic unit cell. Okay, now same color combination I will use. I am using just those atoms which is required to draw a different kind of unit cell. Like we have yellow at the end centered position. So the yellow atoms are those atoms which are at the end centered position. So now what we can observe from here, that I can draw another unit cell out of it, which is I am drawing with the help of blue color. Okay, this is a different unit cell I can draw with the help of this end-centered atom and the cubic corner atoms. That this unit cell, basically known as the simple tetragonal unit cell. The simple tetragonal unit cell, actually, for any unit cell the criteria is like it should have higher symmetry and the lowest volume as possible. So from end centered cubic unit cell we can draw a simple tetragonal unit cell. So let us check the volume criteria of this unit cell. Let me find out the volume of a unit cubic cell, like volume of cubic unit cell equal to a cube if I take a as the latest parameter. Okay, now let us find the volume of this unit cell which is formed from the end centered cubic unit cell. So this length will be the half of this length, and suppose this length is a, this length is a, so this complete length will be root 2a. What is this? Root 2a, and this blue line, or the half of the blue line, will be root 2a by 2. Similarly this side and this side will be equal, and this one is a only. So the volume of simple tetragonal unit cell will be root 2a by 2, root 2a by 2 multiply with the a. So finally we will have 2a cube by 4, that means a cube by 2. So what we can observe here, the volume of simple cubic is twice of the volume of simple tetragonal unit cell. So from this we can say our simple tetragonal volume of unit cell is lesser than the volume of our end-centered unit cell. That's why we do not have end-centered cubic unit cell. Instead we have simple tetragonal unit cell in our crystal system. So that explains why we do not have end-centered cubic unit cell. Okay, we will calculate the volume fraction of the simple cubic, body-centered cubic, face-centered cubic to understand what is the volume fraction or what is the packing efficiency of this simple cubic, body-centered cubic and the face-centered cubic structure. In the previous slide, I mentioned like volume of a simple cubic is equal to the twice of the volume of a simple tetragonal. In that simple cubic, I just referred in case of like in end centered cubic, like okay, for end-centered cubic, the volume of end-centered cubic is cubic unit cell is twice of that the volume of simple tetragonal unit cell. So now come to our this topic, the volume fraction of the simple cubic, body-centered cubic, and face-centered cubic. Let us start with simple cubic one. Let me draw a unit cell here. So for the calculation of the volume fraction, first we will try to find our recipe or our formula for the volume fraction. Volume fraction is equal to volume occupied volume occupied by atoms divided by the volume of unit cell. So the volume occupied by atoms can be calculated by the number of atom in a unit cell multiplied by the volume occupied by a single atom divided by volume of unit cell. Let us try to find how many number of atoms in a simple cubic unit cell. So firstly we can see we have 8 number of atom in the cubic unit cell, and each atom is shared by the 8 different cubic unit cell. So the contribution of a single atom in a particular unit cell will be 1 by 8. So, and there will be no atom in case of the simple cubic, so there is only one atom per unit cell of simple cubic. And if I calculate the volume, this is the number of atom. If I calculate the volume of unit cell is equal to a cube. If I take a as a lattice parameter for the cubic system, so a is the lattice parameter, so the volume of a unit cell becomes a cube. And if I consider the my atom as a hard sphere, so the volume of hard sphere or atom is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, if I want to calculate the a to r relationship, like we know in case of a simple cubic, our atom touch each other along this particular line. So we can calculate here a to r relationship. R is the radius of our atom, and a is the lattice parameter. So from here, this is the two atoms, so this is 1r, this is 1r, so a is equal to 2r. So now we are ready to put our all the required material into our volume fraction formula. Here is the volume fraction formula, which represents that the volume occupied by atoms divided by the volume of the unit cell. So now we have total number of atom in case of simple cubic only 1, multiplied by 4 by 3 pi r cube, the volume occupied by a single atom, and divide by the volume of a unit cell. So we have a cube as a volume of unit cell. If I put a is equal to 2r, so our volume becomes 2r whole cube. So now we will simplify this expression. 8 r cube to r cube cancel out. This is 4, this is 2, this is pi by 6. If I simplify the pi by 6 with the help of calculator, then I will get the result. Let me use my calculator to calculate this particular expression. This will come like 0.523. It will come like 0.523. So the packing efficiency of simple cubic material, if I multiply with the 100, then now we will calculate the volume fraction for BCC unit cell. So firstly let me draw, as we know what we need to calculate volume fraction of the BCC unit cell. First let me draw a BCC unit cell. We have atoms at the corner, and we have atom at the body center position. So total number of atom in BCC is equal to 1 by 8 contribute by the uh, single atom in a unit cell. So each atom at the corner is shared by the 8 unit cells. So a particular atom will contribute only 1 by 8 to a particular unit cell. Plus we have a single base centered atom, which is completely belongs to a particular unit cell. So we have total two number of atoms in case of BCC. Now we will go for calculating the volume of a cubic unit cell. So volume of a cubic unit cell, volume of cubic unit cell is equal to A cube. Now let us calculate the A to R relationship for BCC system. Actually, A to R relationship we calculate in those directions where the atoms are completely touching each other, or those directions which are close peg direction. So in case of BCC we will come to know how to calculate the close peg direction in case of BCC, or in case of FCC what is the close peg planes. We will come to know about all these stuffs in later part of this video series. Firstly, so here just try to understand here 111 direction which I am indicating here the 111 direction in case of the BCC is the close peg direction. So here the atoms are completely touching each other. So this length, like we have BCC atom, we have corner atoms. So now so the length of this line, let me draw a different color. So the length of this line we can calculate from here, like this is the A and this is also A, so this is root 2A, simple Pythagoras theorem. And if I want to calculate this value again, this is A, this is root 2A, so this is root 3A. So this is root 3A, which is equal to what? This is 2r, this is single r, this is again single r. So total this will be uh, like 4r. So A is equal to 4r by root 3 in case of BCC. Now we can put in our formula 2 into volume occupied by a single atom, 4 by 3 pi r cube, divide by A cube is the volume. And if I put the value of A in this particular value, then this will be 4 by root 3 r to the power 3. So now let me simplify 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is 64 3 root 3 r cube. Now we will cancel it out. This is 4 4 1 is 4, and this is like 16, this is 8, this 3 will cancel out with this 3. So we will have root 3 pi by 8. Let us simplify with the help of calculator. So we have root 3 pi, let me use calculator, 1.732 multiplied by pi divide by 8, we have 0.67. So the packing efficiency of 0.6798, so packing efficiency would be like 68% approximately. We have packing efficiency for the BCC material. So now we will jump to the FCC volume fraction. For FCC again we will draw a unit cell to find out the number of atoms present in a FCC unit cell. We have atoms at the corner, and we have atoms at the face center position. As we know, in case of cubic, or in case of a cube has 6 faces, so there will be a 6 face atom. Okay, so total number of atom will be like those atoms which are at the corner will contribute only 1 by 8 to the unit cell. And now we have 6 faces, that means 6 atom, and each face atom shared between the two unit cell. So there will be a total number of 4 atoms in the FCC unit cell. Now let us see the A to R relationship. for FCC. So again, in case of FCC, we have 110 direction is the close back direction. So in that direction, like this is the, let me draw with the red line. So this is our 110 direction. In this direction, the atoms are touching each other. Again, let me draw here. We have this one. So again, this is 2r, this is single r, this is single r, and length of this is a, this is a. So this is root 2a. So the root 2a is equal to 4r. So a is equal to 4r by root 2. Let me put into our formula. Volume fraction is equal to volume occupied by atoms divided by volume of unit cell. So we can calculate the volume occupied by atoms by simply putting number of atoms, and the volume occupied by simple a single atom in a unit cell. And the volume of unit cell, we know volume of unit cell is a cube, and if I put the value of a from here, then what will be, this will be 64 r cube. This is 2 under root 2. Now I will simplify this expression. I will explain 16 and 16 divide by 64, that will be 4, and again this is 2. So again this will further simplify it into root 2. Not like that, let us simplify. Let us write it again here. Root 2 pi 2 into 3. So here like pi under root 2 3. So let us simplify this expression further. This is like 3.14 divide by 1.414 into 3. So here we got what, 0.74021. So the packing efficiency for the FCC system is 74% approximately. So what we have observed, that for in case of simple cubic we have 52% packing efficiency. In case of BCC we got around 64% packing efficiency. In case of FCC we got 74% packing efficiency. Okay, so in upcoming lecture we will deals with the closed peg direction and closed peg plane in case of BCC and in case of FCC, so that we can have better idea about the sleeve systems, which are important in case of understanding the FCC, in case of the understanding of any of the deformation mechanisms of the any of the crystal systems, whether it is BCC, with any of the crystal structure, whether it is BCC or FCC. So in the upcoming lecture we will deals with that. From from this here we will end this lecture, and we will meet in the next upcoming lecture.